So the Supreme Court has given a huge relief to Major Aditya Kumar and his comrades in the Shopian firing case. I'm going to tell you about what the Shopian firing case is and what the relief is that Major Kumar has gotten as well. My name is Sharma. Welcome to the Sharma Show. Hello, and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Sharma Show. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. All right, so if you're watching for the first time, if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing. And if you have seen this show before and you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe. Also, guys, I recently conducted an interview and a conversation with Shawn Binda from Hindu Lifestyle, and I think it was a very fruitful conversation. I think we were able to touch on some very key issues, and I would really like for you guys to check out the conversation. So if you haven't already, the link to that episode is provided in the description below. So I would highly recommend you go check it out. Okay, so the Supreme Court has recently provided a huge relief to Major Aditya Kumar and some of the other army officers in the Shopian firing case. So what happened in this case was, so a couple of months ago, an army convoy was passing through Shopian in Kashmir when it was ambushed by about 250 stone pelters. So they surrounded the convoy and they started pelting stones at the truck. And if you look at the damage that was done to the vehicles, you know that they were not there just to protest. They were there to cause some harm, and they were there to potentially cause casualties. Now, despite the stone pelting, the army did not retaliate. They were just trying to still get out and get on their way. And in fact, one of the junior commissioned officers actually got out of the vehicle and actually tried to reason with the mob, which I don't think was the greatest idea, because they actually grabbed him and they were in the process of lynching him to death. And if anybody remembers Ayub Pandit last year was a police officer in the Jammu and Kashmir police who was lynched to death by a similar mob who were chanting pro-Pakistan slogans. So I think it's very important to understand the danger that the JCO and the danger that the army officers were in. And this is a very tried and tested measure. This is a tried and tested measure that these extremists have used in Palestine as well. What they will do is they will attack and assault Israeli Defense Force officers till one of them retaliates and one of them hits them back, and then they put it on camera and they take a picture of it, and then they take a video of it, and then they say, oh, look at this. The Israeli army, all it does is it harasses innocent people. And that's what they do in Kashmir as well, is that they will pelt stones at the army. They will attempt to kill army officers, and then if the army retaliates in any way, then they will say, oh, look at this fascist Indian army just trying to, bully and keep down the innocent Kashmiri people. This is a very tried and tested strategy. So as you can see, the army didn't really have any option here if they wanted to save their lives and if they wanted to save the JCO's life. So the army officers did have to open fire at the mob, and then 3 people from the mob died, which led to the mob dispersing. And then the Jammu and Kashmir government filed an FIR against Major Aditya Kumar and other people in the convoy under Section 302, which is murder, and Section 307, which is attempt to murder of the Ranbir Penal Code. So Lieutenant Colonel Karamveer Singh, who is the father of Major Aditya Kumar, he filed a petition to quash the FIR in the Supreme Court. He presented the case that this firing was done entirely in self-defense and it was absolutely necessary if members of the convoy and the JCO were to make it out of there alive. So the petition says that Major Aditya Kumar and others were wrongly and arbitrarily named in the FIR as the incident relates to an army convoy that was on bona fide military duty in an area under the AFSPA and was isolated by an unruly and deranged mob pelting stones causing damage to military vehicles. He called the FIR bad in law. The petition also said that the manner in which Jammu Kashmir's political leadership and administrative higher-ups projected the FIR against army personnel reflected the extremely hostile atmosphere in the state. And that's very true. The army does operate in a very hostile environment in Jammu and Kashmir, and this is a very good answer to people who are always calling for the removal of AFSPA, is that if you remove that, then the army is completely toothless in Kashmir. Toothless in an area where a large percent of the population wants nothing but to see them killed. But the Supreme Court actually provided a big relief to Major Kumar and other people in the army when he said that there was be no coercive action taken against these people in this FIR, and the state government of Jammu and Kashmir has to present a reply in 2 weeks to explain why they filed this FIR. So I think that's a good decision. I think it's pretty clear from the way the events unfolded that the army and the people that opened fire didn't really have any option but to open fire in complete self-defense, and if they didn't do so, their lives would be in danger. So Advocate Aishwarya Bhati, who filed the petition for Lieutenant Colonel Karamveer Singh, she came out after the verdict was given by the Supreme Court, and she had this.
By the stand of Government of India also within 2 weeks. J&K Government, of course, has to clarify its stand within 2 weeks. And on our prayer for interim relief, the Honorable Court has been pleased to direct that no coercive action will be taken against Major Aditya Kumar in pursuance of the FIR that has been lodged against him. So I feel that it's a very positive, encouraging day, poignant at the same time because, serving officer's father, who's himself a serving officer, a Kargil war veteran, had been forced to come before the Honorable Apex Court of the country. We felt that if officers and soldiers are going to be persecuted, if there will be FIRs registered against them for upholding the sovereignty and dignity of the country in exercise of their bona fide duty, which is upholding the dignity of the Indian flag, then it reflects very, very strongly. It has a numbing impact on the morale of the forces, which somewhere has a connection with the national security.
And again, it's completely true. It does have a numbing impact on the army because the army, like I said before, is operating in a very hostile area where a large percentage of this population want you dead, and you're dealing with threats to your life every single day. And the one thing that provides you with morale and the one thing that provides you with motivation is that your comrades in arms are with you, your government is with you, and your people are with you. And by and large, most of the people in India support the army. And I think it is very disheartening when you see that you've clearly operated in self-defense and then the government that is supposed to have your back on that issue files an FIR against you. So I do think this is a good step. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Jammu and Kashmir government responds and what the response is going to be. And I want to know your thoughts about this issue as well. What do you think about this issue? Do you think that the Supreme Court's judgment to not take coercive action against them is right? Do you think it was right for the Jammu and Kashmir government to file an FIR against these army people involved in this incident? Please let me know your thoughts because I'd love to hear them. Okay guys, and that's today's episode. Thank you very much for watching today's show. Again, I appreciate you. And also, if you did enjoy today's episode, please make sure to like today's show. Please make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Please make sure to share the show. Please make sure to tell people to come and watch this show. And also, please make sure to subscribe to the show's channel. Again, thanks very much, guys. I will see you again for the Friday show. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.